Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sejahtera. Hello, everyone. I'm sure everyone is very anxious because some of you probably the first time you want to shift your face-to-face class to online, and everyone is trying to learn some application like WebEx and other applications to allow you to do live online class. So I'm trying to share some tips here. So in this video, I'd like to share this topic, online class, how not to bore your students. It's actually very challenging, even in a face-to-face, physical face-to-face class. It's not easy to engage our students, let alone online class. And we know the attention span of adult students are very short, around 8 seconds according to research by Microsoft. But I'd like to share some of my ideas here. Probably you want to try it out. So if you want to replace like 1 hour physical face-to-face class, is it in online class, are you going to give lecture or showing your slide and talk for 1 hour? I think that really will bore your students very much. Okay, let's start here. I have shared 2 videos on my YouTube channel, so you might want to check this out. The first one is how to set up the WebEx session. So in USM we are using WebEx as our official application, so everyone can get a license. So watch this video how to set up the live online class session, then how to conduct the online class using WebEx, so you get to learn the features in WebEx. So once you have your WebEx set up and you get into your online class, most people probably would use the slides, the PowerPoint slide or keynote on the Mac. So this is how I would like to suggest how you can structure your 1 hour online class. So we have 60 minutes. Then we can what I would like to suggest, divide into 5 segments here. So you can start here. Then before even you show your first slide, maybe you want to start with small activity around 5 minutes. So I'll show you some examples of what kind of activity you can use and what kind of application you can use. Then only after that you can start to give so-called lecture because we love to give lecture, right? So you can show your PowerPoint, but maybe try to limit this around 15 minutes. Okay, so this is a second segment. Then the third segment is another activity, so you can use some activities here, and this activity will take probably around 5 to 10 minutes, and then you can carry on, continue with your lecture, maybe another 15 minutes. So the lecture part or the delivery of the content is probably around 30 minutes, so half an hour, about 50% of the whole online session. Then finally you can do some maybe a simple quiz, some simple assessment, or get the students to reflect. Maybe they can summarize the 1 hour session using whatever tools that you want to use. I prefer Twitter, but you can use some other tool like Mentimeter and whatever application that you have learned. And then maybe finally you want to do a brief closure, summarize the whole thing, the whole 1 hour session. Then that will take around 10 to 50 minutes. So this is the 5 segment. If you use this structure, I'm quite confident that you can get more engagement of the students. So this is some of the approach that you might want to consider. So now let me show you For example, when we start the first segment here with some activity, what kind of activity we can use? Okay, one of the activity that you can use is use this application, the free application called Socrative. So you can get the students to go to socrative.com, and then they click login, then they click student login. So this on the student side. So you give them the instruction to use to go to the Socrative website. Then on the teacher side, you can download. You can log in as teacher login. Then I'm going to show you detail of how you want to set up your quiz. So basically, Socrative is the tool that you can use to create a quiz. So when the students log in, when they click student login, they need to put in the the room name. So you give them the room name. So this is actually the room name. So this is on the teacher side. You can I will prepare another video to show you how to set up your Socrative. So Socrative is basically a tool which you can use to prepare a quiz. So give them the room name. So the student would use this room name and put the room name and join, and this is what they will see. So in this case there are 16 questions, but this is a long one, but you can prepare like 3 to 5 questions, and these questions probably designed to ask them what they have learned last week or in the last class. So this is actually a way to check their understanding from the previous class or from the previous session. So they will spend around 5 minutes to go through this quiz. So they can start to answer the questions and go through the questions. So this activity will take probably about 5 minutes. Then the next one, after they have done the activity, this is where you can give your lecture. So you can start your slide. Let's say this one, this is a topic that I want to deliver, for example. Then I can go and start to share and talk about the content, go through my slides. So this will take, let's say, around 15 minutes. Once we have reached that about 15 minutes, at this point, the third segment, you can start with another activity. So let's say you have you set up questions based on what you have presented during these 15 minutes. So for example, I use this tool called Mentimeter. I think a lot of you probably are familiar with Mentimeter. So the students now would you can ask the students to go to this address and this code. So this is how it looks like on their side. Okay, when they put you need 124407. So I pretend to be a student here. 1244 forgot it. 07. Okay, 07. So imagine this is a student side. They click submit, and they can see the question here. What are your main concerns as a user or creator of copyright material? So maybe student will type copyright infringement, submit, and then you will see on the teacher side, and you can see this how the answer from the students would appear in real time. And since you are sharing your screen, everyone will be able to see the answers posed by other students. So you can do this kind of activity. You can set up 1 or 2 activities, and this will take around 5 to 10 minutes. Then after that, on the fourth segment, you can continue with your PowerPoint again, and you can start your, continue your second part of the lecture. Okay, so this will take another 15 minutes. And then the last part, you can design the fifth segment, or the last segment, the fifth segment. You can do some form of assessment, reflection, or a closure. Okay, so for example here, I use another tool here called Quizlet. So let's say I have gone through the almost like 50 minutes, so there's another 10 minutes left. About 10 minutes left here. So now I go to Quizlet, then I ask the students, okay, all works must be preserved in some form in order for the owner to copyright them. True or false? Then you can get the students to post their answer in the chat box in WebEx. Then after all of them have posted the answer, you can click this flip chart. They can say, oh, okay, true. Then you can carry on with another one. Okay, not every type of original work can be copyrighted. So this is actually a kind of revision at the end of the session. Then get them to post the questions on the answer on the chat box. Then you click okay, true. But there are exceptions, so you can explain more what are the exceptions here in this case. So basically that's how you can structure your class, your online class. The 1 hour or 60 minutes, you can divide into 5 segments. You can actually have the mixture of activities and the lecture, and then at the end some assessment, reflection, and closure. Try this out, and you have to learn some of the application that you can use online as an online activity. There are many of them, and I'll be sharing more videos to show you what kind of activities and what kind of tools or application you can use to create these kind of activities. There are so many tools out there and applications which you can use. All right, so I hope this can help you to deliver your 1 hour online class rather than giving 1 hour PowerPoint based lecture. You can actually make it more interesting and more engaging and more exciting by having activities. And using this approach, you can also use the same strategy when you give your face-to-face class. Okay, that's about all. Thank you very much, and good luck again.